right? Yes. Not down the steps. I think you're up on the stage. We need a word for. Oh. So we're gonna start right from 1 bar before 16. This is the bar of the handshakes. So in 1 bar, do your best to try to shake everybody else's hand, and then when you hear Billows say now then, get back to your chair and sit down. Okay? Let's just try that. Shake hands. Good. Fantastic. And I love that. It kind of creates this picture of suddenly Billows appears in the back, which is great. Yes.
So I don't like this one, and I don't like the help. Should I just try to go for those two?
Yeah, that's fine.
Great.
That's hilarious.
I'm not gonna shake his hand. I'm just gonna.
Should everyone avoid shaking my hand?
Maybe you like don't really want to shake Bud's hands. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Clear.
And then you clear, and we hear now then, and then suddenly Billows appears. Okay, this next bit of staging, for Billows, this next bit of staging is very minimal, but it's going to need a lot of filling, right? We're going to need to do a lot of work to make sure you feel really comfortable with it. Here's your staging for the next bit. You sing seated, only while I'm on today's agenda to choose a queen of the May. Then you're going to stand. And then through this whole aria, here is your space.
Love.
You're going to work it. You
Yeah.
know?
Okay.
We're going to really make this feel very free, very commanding. It almost is going to feel like a lecture. It's like you're lecturing these four. So sometimes you might come over here, you might be talking to them. Sometimes you might come forward to them. Sometimes you might come back here, you're talking to them. It's almost like an old lady who's also kind of like an evangelical preacher. Does that make sense? That's what it's going to feel like. But my staging for this bit is just, here's your stage.
Great.
Fill it,
Work.
you know? And so you're going to sing this whole aria. The only thing I definitely want you to do concretely in the aria is when you get to, oh, you're too young to remember, that goes to Wordsworth. Okay?
Yeah.
So for, oh, you're too young to remember, I need you to be down here so that it becomes like, oh, you're too young to remember how these things were done. And that's about her and how young as she is and how it makes you angry. Okay?
Okay.
That's what that is. So that comes down left. And then I do have staging after that for the end, which is before I'm putting up a prize this year. And I think this is going to be hilarious. Maybe I'm too tickled by this. So you're going to get really nasty, really disgusted by her. You're too young to remember how these things were done. And then you're going to, during the music that happens after it, you're going to tragically, almost like you're injured, stagger back to your chair and lean against it kind of for support. And then you're going to go, I'm putting up a prize this year. And we're going to have another turn over your shoulders. Okay. So then you're going to turn from the chair, turn out, I'm putting up a prize this year. Yeah. Exactly. 100%. I'm putting up a prize this year. 25 sovereigns. When she says 25 sovereigns, I want all of you to gasp. Like, wow, right? You don't gasp, you already knew. But just these four,
You already
right? You already knew. And then you see them gasp, and so then you're gonna step down. 25. Step down like, yes, I mean it. 25. And then consider it, and can I ask you for a diction thing here? I really think it's funny. There are performances where people do this, where she doesn't say consider it my duty. She says consider it my duty.
Yeah, I love
and I find that really silly.
I've heard that before, and I didn't know if you wanted.
I find that really ridiculous, so I would like to do that. And then we're here. Must make virtue attractive, exciting, desirable. There's got to be a gesture. Just like I said to Florence, I don't want to tell you exactly what the gesture is, but it's imagine how this very old, stuffy, super Christian lady would think sexy would look, you know?
Oh, God.
What is her pose? If she's going to be on the cover of Vogue and she gets to choose her pose, what does that pose look like for her? I don't know what it is, but you're going to hit that pose. You're going to hit that pose on desirable.
Oh, God.
And when she hits that pose, the four of you are going to avert your eyes.
Oh.
Yeah, you look. Yeah, Bud, you look. Bud, you look. Just kidding. Bud, you look and you love it. Bud, you look and you love it. Okay? But all of us, I think Florence included, are gonna, and for Florence, I think it would be a polite, sort of like, you know, a polite. I think the three of you are shocked, maybe a little disgusted, horrified.
I have to
you know.
see that too.
Yes, exactly. Good.
Double whammy over here.
Make a meme video out of this later.
Great. And then for the second half of the aria, I don't have notes. We're gonna fill
Okay,
space. We're gonna make it interesting. After you say town's in a state of complete moral chaos, you're gonna turn, cross out your chair and sit down. No, you're not gonna sit yet. You're gonna turn, you're gonna stand at the chair, and then say, well then, all in favor signify usual manner, sit. Okay? After she sits, this is gonna be important. A little bit of choreography. After she says, so here's the order. She says, all in favor, sorry, yes?
Can I sit down on good instead of?
Yeah, I don't really care what you
Okay,
say.
I didn't know if that mattered.
That's fine.
Okay, fine.
Here's the choreography. All in favor signify usual manner. You're all gonna lift your hands up to vote before the clock rings. Okay? So you're all gonna lift your hands, then the clock is gonna ring. Keeping your hand up. So you're gonna have to, guys, you're gonna have to lift the hand that doesn't use your pocket watch. Because the clock is gonna ring, you're gonna keep your hand up, you're gonna look at the clock, you're gonna take out your pocket watch, and then you're gonna turn back and put the pocket watch away, the hand up the whole time. That's the choreography. Lady characters, you don't have to deal with the pocket watch, you're just gonna keep your hands up and turn and look at the clock, and then turn back, okay? And then you sing, unanimous, good, let's have the suggestions on waiting first, okay? Really simple, yes.
I've seen a version where Bud kind of like waits a little bit. He's like last.
Yeah. I mean, he could. I think for now let's not. But if we want to add more, we can add more. You know. Okay. So this next bit is very simple, very straightforward blocking. You're here. When you have your point that you are talking, you're gonna stand up at your chair and be stood up. So Vicar goes first. Vicar's gonna stand there. The first suggestion on my list is a charming local girl, takes communion, never misses Sunday, Jennifer Searle. Okay? Every time we get to the end, Florence is gonna frantically flip through pages of the notebook to find the Jennifer Searle page, and then she is gonna answer the issue. And here's the thing, the first suggestion you all make, the first suggestion you feel really confident about. You're like, no, I have a great candidate. I think Jennifer Searle, that's it. She's it for us. You're really confident. When we get to the second suggestion, all of you are terrified of Florence. You're all like, what if Jennifer Searle? And then she's like, nope. So, but the first one you feel pretty good. So you're gonna stand, you're gonna do your thing. After she says, case dismissed, you're gonna sit down, right? Wordsworth is then gonna stand. Of all the people from the school, it gives me particular pleasure to recommend Elizabeth Newell, Bobby knows our treasure, we'll see after the wood, you're gonna flip pages, cross her name off, no good, sit down. Mayor stands. There's Winifred Brown, works in the Thomas and Mel. I asked about her, quite well.
Except she went with her cousin from Kent for a dog.
Okay, and then after we get, so here, I do have a specific reaction here. When she says, she went with her cousin from Kent for a trip in a dog cart, you're gonna go, yeah, what's the big deal? It's her cousin. No big, fine. One Sunday in Lent. Oh my God. Like terrified, like disgusted, horrified, awful, cover your face in shame and sit down, right? Because one Sunday in Lent. Good. Bud is then gonna stand, or hump. Speak up, Bud. I've lived on the same, my lady, make it short and sweet, Amelia Keats. And this one, you don't need to check notes. As soon as you hear Amelia Keats, Florence, no notes needed. You're just like, are you kidding me? And your reaction to that is, yeah, she does. She's great. She's like the best girl in the town. You know this, right? That's your reaction. Like, yeah, she's awesome. And all of you are just disappointed and disgusted and unsurprised. Okay? Good. And then you're singing, can't waste time buttering parsnips. Do you know where this comes from? So this comes from the phrase, fine words, butter no parsnips, is the phrase.
I've never heard that phrase in my life.
I had to look it up. But the phrase is fine words, butter, no parsnips, which essentially means like words don't fix bad situations, right?
Ah, yes.
And that's what you're saying, except you just say, can't waste time buttering parsnips, which doesn't actually make any sense and doesn't say the same thing. You're just old and crazy.
Love.
Okay? Want virgins, not trollops, more names. Now we're on round 2. Okay, so you've all presented your first name now. The confidence is gone. Now it's like, oh, this is gonna go poorly. So when you do your second name, you are gonna stand, and then you are gonna walk down to the top, as far downstage as you can go without stepping off. And you're gonna do it from there, okay? What about Edith Chase? And then you just are gonna stay there. You're not gonna go back, right? Well, what about her? Much too flighty, she has my Bible group. When the postman called one day, she opened the door in her 19. And we're gonna have to make sure that you have to go a little bit more that way, because we have to make sure we don't cover Florence. Good. When she says, open the door in her 19, you're gonna cross yourself. Oh my God, this demon, Satan, stay away. Like that sort of thing, okay? It's word for it. You're gonna stand, you're gonna step down next to him. And then we're creating this line across the front of the stage again. Has anyone thought of the Shoemaker's Twins? I've heard things from Mr. Budd about them both. Both of them, then you're gonna stand and come down stage. One little step. Take my Bible oath, right? Good. And then we continue in these positions. When you do the girl from the dairy, you're gonna stand and come back. And then we end up, then don't suggest her, you're gonna stand up. And then the baker's daughter, you're gonna stand up.
No.
Yes, exactly. You're gonna come down just like that. And you're all gonna look, when he says, people talk of Nancy, oh, the baker's daughter, yeah, fine, great, this happens. And then we're just in this position, just seeing all this sad, unhappy, sad, defeated, all standing there. And Florence, you're gonna stay right there. And I love the position you found. It was down and it was center, but it was just off center so that we can still see Billows standing at the back. And then you're gonna go from here to them, really upset and angry and furious with them. None of you succeeded, okay? And then, after none of you succeeded, wait, is Billows still standing?
Yeah, I feel awkward.
Let me just see if we could sit down. Yeah, I think you should just sit back down.
Okay.
Yeah. Then don't suggest her stand up and then sit back down. Okay? Here's what's gonna happen now. After none of you succeeded, Florence, you are gonna then turn and go sit down. The rest of you, I love this, is so stupid, I love it so much. Would you hold this for me? The rest of you are gonna be totally defeated and broken. You're also gonna turn back to the audience, walk back up to your chairs, and you're gonna stop and stand in front of your chairs. And then, before your vocal entrance, oh, bitter, we're doing it again, So we're gonna be, yeah, exactly. Oh, bitter, right? And then and you're all gonna turn. Yes, exactly. And when you turn, I think you could start like this. Look how Xavier is right now. You could start like that, but then fully turn. So you're fully facing. And then as we are singing this, we are going to slowly come together down center in a tight clump. As you're singing, you're coming in, you're clumped up, you're blocking them off, that's totally fine. And then he's gonna say darkness has its uses. You're all in unison gonna slowly turn your heads to look at him like, what?
Should I say that to the audience?
Yeah, darkness has its uses. It's like, darkness has its uses. And then you all slowly, and I think your reaction could be like, what'd I say? What? Yeah, exactly. I think that's great. Okay, and then in the music that comes after it, you're all gonna sadly turn and go back to your chairs and sit down. Okay? Okay. Here's what I'd like to do. I don't want to run the Lady Billows aria, because we'll just work on that next time. There's no specific blocking except that little bit in the middle. And I trust you to remember that. So let us instead go at the beginning of the first suggestion on my list. Page 36.
The first suggestion on my list is a charming local girl who takes communion and never misses a Sunday. Jennifer Searle.
Had an affair with young Tom Modell last Christmas. Crossing him off. Case dismissed. Although my dream is from the skies, it gives me particular pleasure to recommend Elizabeth Newell, whose spontaneity knows her a treasure. Was seen in the woods of the doors, with the hood and last Tuesday, wasn't enough, no good.
There's Reverend Brown, who works in town as assistant to Mrs. Bell. I'm asked about her, and people concur she behaves on the average quite well.
Except she went with her cousin from Kent for a trip in a dog cart. One Sunday in Lent. Speak up, bud.
I've little to say, my lady, so I'll make it short and sweet. The girl in my mind is a treasure you'll find. Her name is Amelia Keats.
Exposes her angles and legs, what is broad. It's good watching from a girl of her class. All of this, what is a sexy? All of it parsnips, what virgins, what crops.
I have another name or two I brought with me in case the first was not acceptable. What about Edith Chase?
Well, what about her? Much too flighty.
She attends my Bible group.
When the postman called one day, she opened the door in her 90. Has anyone done a flash make her stay? Just Mary and her sister, most practical girls and handicraft. I heard of things from Mr. Bud about the move of them.
Take my Bible.
What perpetually caught them at? Your pardon him, milady.
Come all the way down.
People talk of Nancy Waters, but I'm not sure. There's a little girl who works at Piper's Farm.
Was lost one night and then found in a barn.
The girl from the dairy.
Don't suggest her.
Okay, I'm gonna make a suggestion there. Florence, I think you should come down there. Just because there's so much noise happening so much further downstage than you, it's gonna be hard to catch those words. So I think you need to come down. She won't refuse. Yeah, lost one and then found in a barn, stand. The girl from the dairy, she won't refuse, and then come down here to this spot you found earlier that leaves Billows open, but just brings you downstage more. Good. And then you're already there for it. The baker's daughter, and then you just stay. Good. Can we just keep going? The baker's daughter. Rehearsal 29.
The baker's daughter? No. Couldn't have half a queen in the name.
She runs up to say, it's my sister, I came after her, all very persistent. It is not true.
Come together, middle.
It is only grass, and darkness has its uses.
Slow turn. Turn and go back to your chair. Okay, good. Okay, Billups. Guess what you get to do now? You're gonna stand. Is this all you can bring? And this is gonna be a slow, menacing, straight cross right down stage.
Love.
Just slow, as slow as you can possibly move. Is there no more this to offer? Not one thing, not one thing. Florence, during this whole section, you are gonna be a perfect mirror of Billups. So as she stands, you're gonna stand in time with her. As she moves, you're gonna stand behind her left shoulder, and you're gonna move exactly in time with her. Go ahead and move a little bit. Wherever she goes, you're just gonna be right here, mirroring and trying to take every step exactly the
Am I
same.
that close to her?
Yes. You're gonna be right there. Just standing behind her as she sings this. Okay?
Am I scared or am I just like?
You're backing her. Yeah, exactly. You're backing her up just like, yeah, you're just like,
Yeah, you got this.
good. And so you're gonna be there, but stinks of sensual shame, and then you're right here, but stinks of sensual
What
shame.
if I went, our locks were girls and smacked her?
She's gonna have to watch out for that, right? So don't be so close that
Oh
she's
no,
gonna
I'm
smack
saying
you.
like purposefully.
You could, yeah, you
like
could.
accidentally, you're just like.
Well, you could. When
But I
you go
think
locks
that
for
would
girls,
work.
actually that would kind of work, because
Okay.
what you're gonna do is, our locks for girls, all you know.
Yeah.
You are gonna step down.
Okay.
And then my note says, work that step. This whole step
Okay, work.
is your area. Now, our locks for girls, all horse, none clean, none short, just back and forth, off and again, you're following her everywhere she goes. Exactly. When we get to the end, that laws of morals must endure. Okay, here's the deal. When you say laws of morals must endure, wherever you are on the step, I don't care, you want to be sure you're as forward on the step as you can be at that moment.
Oh.
Because then you're going to step down with her, trying, yeah, exactly. Right there. And so you're just all sharing, and it can be a little uncomfortable, a little bit like there's not room for the two of us here, actually. Thank you. Morals must endure. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna realize she's right there, and you're gonna gently step away from her and hold out this arm for her to grab and support you. Exactly. And that's gonna be, is this the town where I lived and toiled, and you're almost collapsing, and she is the only thing keeping you up? And then I think you are gonna, after what I have lived and toiled, you're gonna help her up one step to get back onto the stage. And you're gonna be back up on the stage all the way. For Sodom and Gomorrah, right to be despoiled. And on despoiled, you're gonna push her away. Right to be despoiled. Good. And then you're gonna come back down. Oh, spawning ground, and you go right. And you're gonna come this way. Spawning ground, horror, shame. And you're gonna let her go. Shame, you're gonna end up right there. Shame to Loxford. Style the female sex has soiled. Style the female, and you're gonna rush down. Style the female sex has soiled. Style the female sex has soiled. And then the clock goes. Everybody turns to look at the clock. The two of you turn back relatively soon, and I want you to look at each other and grab onto each other for support. And then out. Exactly. Exactly. Female sex has soiled. And then you're gonna help her back to her chair. I'm just gonna talk through the end. We're so close. We're not gonna have time to run this stuff today, but I'm gonna talk through the end so you can have notes. Okay, you get back there, you're all seated, you're all dejected, you're all upset. Bud stands. Begging your pardon, I'd like to say, has anyone heard of a King of the May? Right from there, right in your chair. King of the May, fantastic. Wordsworth. We're gonna put a little joke in here. you're gonna stand up really excited at your line. You're gonna go like this. You're gonna go, I never did. And then you're gonna sit back down. Like, yeah, I did. I know exactly. Oh, wait. Nope, I don't. I have no idea. Yeah, exactly. Good. I never did. And then we're just here. You're seated. You're standing there.
Maybe it seems a wrong sort of notion.
Right. Well, yes, present motion. Ramen may be helpful to know. We are Herring, but Herring's the name, and Herring's life of both months we had. Albert Herring. One works for his mother, Bud. You are going to step a little bit more down. Works for his mother, clean grocery shop, owns a horse, but not all the way to center yet, right? And then you're gonna go to center before Albert Herring's clean as new. And then that whole thing happens right there. Yep. Down, dead center. Good. And then, yeah, you're gonna be there. You're gonna end your little aria there. Vicar's gonna stand up and cross down onto the step with him. I know the boy you mean, but is he quite? Right there. I've seen him since he was a kid. He always lives next door to me. When he attended school, poor Albert was not very bright in lessons, but quite exceptional for conduct. And then an inoffensive lad, simple of course, and again we're gonna come together. A splendid son, Mrs. Happy. An exceptional conduct, an inoffensive lad, simple of course, but so Mrs. Herring. What precisely? You're gonna stand up. What precisely? And as soon as you hear that, we're gonna split open a little bit to make sure we can see her. What precisely has a gross society to do with this?
Discussion.
Uh,
Ridiculous proposal.
Yep.
I'm certain there are girls, farmers' daughters maybe, suitable for us. Florence.
Good. I think I need you to split more.
Do you
So
want us
you're
to
gonna
come
go
down or
all-
stay there?
Why don't you stay there?
Okay.
Yes. Okay. What precisely is the gross society to do with this decision? Here's the proposal. You are gonna stand. Florence, you're gonna be seated there at that time. You are gonna finally, after she says Florence, she is gonna turn to look at you, and you're gonna stand up and say, "Hopeless, milady. I've been around all the farms and small holdings. Shocking results." Then you're gonna put the notebook down. You're gonna grab your binoculars, and you're gonna step a little bit more forward, kind of that nice spot you found before. Country versions, if there be such, think too little and see too much. And then you're gonna put that down ashamed, and then you're gonna turn this way and go back. And you're gonna put the binoculars down, but you don't sit yet. And now we all kind of end up looking at Lady Billows, who's now standing here. And you're gonna do this diva move, Lady Billows.
Love.
You're gonna sing, "I'm a very disappointed woman." And as you sing it, you're gonna